And Mercedes, I think we have 2 more interviews left. One of them is a friend of yours.
One of them is a friend of mine. He is actually, his website is a RoyalPiper. He is the only American bagpiper, now that I know that's a real word, to pipe for the Queen. His name is Al, and I went to high school with him, so I think we have an interview with him, if we can start that. Hi, we have Al Gonzalez here from the RoyalPiper. How are you today?
I'm just fine, Mercedes. Good morning to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you very much, and to you. We are live at the parade, although this is a pre-recorded interview. And I understand that you have done the parade in the past in Pearl River.
Well, I'll tell you, the Pearl River Parade, amongst pipers, is probably our favorite parade.
Really?
New York City, oh, yeah. The New York City Parade, even though it's the biggest and the oldest and the most traditional, Pearl River, from a musician's point of view, is just more enjoyable. It's more personal. You tend to see people you know on the sidewalks. I mean, it's absolutely packed, and it has a great reputation amongst bands.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved with piping? Because you and I went to high school together.
Indeed.
And I had no idea about this, about you, at all.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, you know, way back when, I don't even want to say when, because...
yeah, let's not go there.
Well, let's just say we grew up in the 70s, back in Leonia. But I started piping probably about the age of 14. My Irish grandmother used to bring me to the St. Patrick's Day Parade in New York City, and I would see these pipe bands come down Fifth Avenue with the very tall hats, and here I was a young lad, and I said, oh, that's for me, that's what I wanted to do. So, as luck would have it, I had a cousin that played, and my family put in touch with him, and then growing up, every Friday night it was bagpipe lessons, no hanging out with the boys or anything like that, all the other things we would do in high school. For me, it was bagpipe lessons, and from there, I've just gone on to do it professionally for many years now.
And in your email to me, you had a reference to Gunga Din.
Well, that was the other thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you listeners will remember back Channel 9 used to have the $1 Million Movie on Saturday afternoon. And one of the movies they would show every so often was Gunga Din. And the last 15 minutes of that movie, when the Scottish regiments are going into the ambush and Gunga Din gets up on top of the steeple and blows the trumpet to warn the pipers and the Scottish soldiers of the ambush that's about to happen. I mean, that was just, you know, 15 minutes of the greatest cinema excitement that I've ever seen in my whole life, and I still remember it to this day. I'll tell you just a little aside. I wound up playing, maybe 15 years ago, a performance for a group in here in Manhattan, who was the guest of honor, but one of the stars of Gunga Din, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. And so I played one of the songs from the movie, and he came over to me afterwards, and when you know it, we wound up having an hour-long conversation.
Wow, that's awesome.
He told me that they tried to shut the movie down halfway through production.
Really?
The director, George Stevens, ripped up the telegram, because that's the only way they had of communicating in those days. Wow. They were filming in the Mojave Desert. Wonderful man.
Hi, this is Carrie. I'm here with Mercedes as well, and I'm really impressed with the things that Mercedes had told me about you, and so I have to ask you, did you really play for the Queen?
Indeed, I did. In fact, I'm the only American to ever play for her privately.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I'll just give you a short background on it. One of my dearest friends for many years was Queen Elizabeth's piper. Believe it or not, she has a piper that plays for her every day and escorts her around Buckingham Palace and that sort of thing. Well, he's been my dearest friend for many years, and he called me up one day and says, Al, I'm going to ask the Queen if I could bring you over and have you play. And he asked her, he called me up an hour later and said, book your flight, you're coming over and you're going to be a guest.
Wow.
Played for the Queen, had a nice 20-minute conversation with her, stayed overnight, 2 nights, at Balmoral Castle in Scotland where she lives. So just a wonderful lady, wonderful lady.
And I hope you didn't turn your back to her, because you're not supposed to do that, right?
Well, I was briefed on that.
Really?
Yes. I said to my friend Jim, I said, you know, how will I know when the conversation ends? He says, you can never end the conversation. She'll take a step back and she'll extend her hand, and that's when you'll know the conversation was, you know, about to end. And here I am standing there talking to her for 20 minutes, and she never took a step back. And I said, oh dear Lord, you know, we were talking about everything you can imagine. So I was firing away with the questions as a typical New Jersey guy would do.
Right, of course. Well, on that note, we're going to have to wrap it up as well and get back to the parade.
Well, have a wonderful day at the parade, and I'm sure you're going to be very entertained. There's many, many pipe bands there, many, many friends. I wish them all well.
Thank you, and I just wanted to say that your website is the Royal Piper, and you also do weddings.
Yes, it's the RoyalPiper. That's all one word.
Okay.
.com,
Okay.
And people can find out how to book me through there.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
All the best, Mercedes.
Bye-bye.